Hi, David Wallimann here. Welcome to this mini lesson in which I'm going to show you a few tricks if you're a beginner that wants to sound like a more advanced player. This is your lesson. It's super simple and you can actually expand on this as much as you want. It has to do with pentatonic scales. You've probably heard of those before. And filling in the gaps. Basically, if you take a pentatonic scale, you can organize that in different shapes on the fretboard. A very typical shape is one that has 2 notes per string. So let's take, for example, a name minor pentatonic in this zone of the fretboard. Really quick, I'll remind you of that shape. From the low E string to the high E string, we have frets 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, and 5, 8. That's what's called the first position of an A minor pentatonic scale. All the notes are going to work well over an A minor blues or an A minor chord or an A minor chord progression. It's a very useful scale. But sometimes you might feel as a beginner that you're kind of stuck in that pentatonic zone. A lot of players are stuck there because it's a super comfortable zone to be in. There's a lot of interesting ideas to be played with that. It sounds great, but at some point you want a little bit more. This is what this is about, a little bit more. If you look at these notes, again, 2 notes per string, those are going to be considered the skeleton notes. Those are the skeletons, those are safe notes. You can land on any of them. They're always going to work over the chord progression that you're playing over, as long as you're playing in the same key. Those are the skeleton notes, the bass notes. Let's fill in the flesh between the bones. Those are the bones. The flesh is going to be in between. So basically, anytime we have 2 notes on one string, we're going to fill in the blanks. So instead of having 5, 8, we're going to have 5, 6, 7, and 8. The strong notes, the foundation notes, the skeleton notes are always going to be 5 and 8. Those are the notes that are on the extremity of that box, that zone that we're using. So anything that is on one of these extremities is going to be safe. Anything in between might be safe, might not be, but we're going to use them as passing tones. In other words, we're not going to land on them just to avoid any kind of confusion in the ears. But that means that now, instead of having 5, 8, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5, 8, 5, 8, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a lot of notes to choose from. That might be overwhelming, but it's not if you remember to land on one of these skeleton notes. All the rest is just fillers. And now, if you have an idea like this that just uses the bones, it might become something like this. It sounds a little richer, right? And that's what this is all about. You can expand on this. You can go even further than just using the flesh in between the bones by maybe approaching a bone with a piece of flesh. So you already sound a little more interesting than just pure minor pentatonic. If you like this lesson, you should definitely join my live event that is coming very soon on Jam Play. A 10-session live event in which I'm going to share with you little simple tricks just like this one that are going to help you move from the beginner stage, which is cool because you're learning a lot of things, but you might feel limited because you're not really expressing yourself musically. These are tiny little tricks that are really going to make a difference in your playing. I hope you join me. It's going to be on jamplay.com. It'll be great. Can't wait to see you there. And until then, practice this. It's going to do wonders for your playing. I'll see you next time. Practice well.